Nigel Farage furiously erupted at Alastair Campbell in an on-air clash as the two argued over postal voting in the U.S. election. Nigel Farage reiterated Donald Trump's calls for legal proceedings against supposed election fraud as he argued that Democrats do not want to accept there might be something wrong with postal voting. In a heated row with former Labour aide Alastair Campbell, he accused him of corrupting British politics. Speaking to Jeremy Vine on BBC Radio 2, Mr. Farage said, "You corrupted British politics by bringing in postal voting. We've seen lots of Labour officials go to prison in the last 20 years. I've seen for myself that postal voting is devastating. Mr. Trump has a right to ask a judge to look at this, and the emphasis is he has to prove it and find the evidence. What is funny is people like Alastair Campbell who have spent 4 years trying to overturn the Brexit result. People in America who spent years saying Trump won because of Russian interference are not prepared to accept that there might be something wrong with postal voting." Mr. Campbell responded, "I've seen the nonsense that Nigel's been peddling about postal voting. There have been irregularities in elections all over the world since the beginning of time. The question is whether an election actually is shown to be fair and legal and the outcome is right. You cannot point me to a single example to an election which has been shown to be unfair and shown to be illegal. That will be the same in America." The president has been unusually quiet on Twitter, not posting a message since Saturday afternoon. CNN reported that top advisor Jared Kushner, Mr. Trump's son-in-law, has approached him about conceding the election. Mr. Biden's spokeswoman Kate Bedingfield told CNN on Saturday evening that there had been no contact between Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump has filed a raft of lawsuits to challenge the results, but elections officials in states across the country say there has been no evidence of significant fraud, and legal experts say Mr. Trump's efforts are unlikely to succeed. As the news of Mr. Biden's win broke, cheers and applause were heard around Washington, with people emerging onto balconies, honking car horns and banging pots. Throngs of people streamed to the White House to rejoice outside a security fence as the sound of fireworks boomed in the distance. Mr. Trump's supporters reacted with a mix of disappointment, suspicion and resignation, highlighting the difficult task that Biden faces winning over many Americans, especially in more rural areas, who believe Trump was the first president to govern with their interests at heart.